What's going on, guys? So today it looks like I have a 5th generation 80 gigabyte iPod. The battery on this thing is shot, it looks like. They also want me to check the screen and the pin thing at the bottom, the port, 30-pin port. So let's plug this thing into power and let's see what happens. And it looks like, I don't know if the owner tried to get into it or if maybe the battery's swollen and popped the case open or what, but let's see what we got. Okay, we got the Apple logo. LCD needs to be replaced. You got some dead pixels there. And actually that makes sense then about this case, so I bet you the battery's swollen, put pressure on the LCD and broke the LCD. So anybody that sees on their iPod like a little blemish, usually right about here, it kind of almost looks like a water spot, that's not moisture. That is actually a swollen battery in your iPod putting pressure against your LCD. If that's the case, if you guys actually have that, you need to get it repaired. So, yep. Okay, let's check the music on it first. So what they were saying was the iPod wasn't charging on their Bose dock or on the wall. And I'm assuming it's because the battery is damaged. They probably left it on the Bose dock most of the time, in which constant supply of electricity, these things is not good. Okay, what do we got? AC/DC. I did not say abandon, I said AC/DC. There we go. Thunderstruck. Sorry. Okay, both ears are good. Holy hell, that's loud. Previous is good, next is good, menu is good, and then obviously the hold switch is good, so I think all that we're looking at here is a battery change and an LCD change. And then, I mean, it shows that the battery here is taking charge. You got the little icon there, so I don't think there is an issue with the port. So let's get all this stuff switched out and let's see what we can do. Okay, let's open this guy up. Actually, I think I have all my tools today. Hey! Okay, guys, so how to open a case. This one's already opened, kind of, so it'll be a lot easier. And actually, this is a 5th generation, so this one is already extremely easy to open, one of the easiest. What you need to do is you need to slide your spudger in here. And then you just need to push down on the clips to release it from the side. Like so, like I'm barely touching it and this is releasing. Okay. Should we take bets? Is the battery swollen? I'm gonna say yes. Okay, so if you've seen my video before, you know exactly what I'm going to say next. Fight the urge and the temptation to open this like a book. There's a battery cable right here, and if you're not aware of it being there and you just go to open this, you can actually rip the battery connector off the motherboard, in which case you better have some good soldering skills or you're going to have to replace the motherboard. Ask me how I know. Okay, so in the same fashion, you also don't want to just remove this cable just by pulling it off for the exact same reason. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your spudger. You're going to hold down on the battery connector itself, take tweezers, and then just pull up on the ribbon cable. Now you can open it like a book. And look at that. That is a spicy pillow. Okay. Okay, so we just removed the aux port there, and look at that thing. Like, she is swole. That is a spicy pillow, everybody. Boom. Okay, so let's remove it. Normally, I would heat this up. I have a 3D printer that the only thing I seem to use it for these days is heating up the bed, so it'll heat up the back of this to soften the adhesive to make removing these batteries a little bit easier. But on the 5th generations, there's only 2 small strips here and here, and they don't get tangled in the aux port like the 6th or 7th generations do. So really, you can just, actually I didn't even need the spudger, and that is swollen. Here, let me find a similar battery, or the replacement battery that I'm going to use. Well, it was kind of half-assed ready. Oh my god, I didn't grab the LCD while I was over there either. ADHD sucks, guys. Okay. So yeah, just for comparison, I mean, you know, from the to the set. Yeah, helps if you guys can see it. Yeah, look at that. from the bottom to the very tip, right, or the very tippy top right there of the swollen. Oof. Is that like 25, 33% larger? All right. I missed. Okay, so let's take off the hard drive, in which case all we need to do is pull up in this black latch right here with our nail, like so. If I can get it. There we go. Set this aside for now. So the next thing we need to do is remove these screws. There's 3 screws on each side. Then we can replace the LCD. But actually, before we remove the screws, what we're going to do is we're going to lift this LCD latch right here. There we go. Pull up on the ribbon cable. There we go. Okay, screws. Screw 2. And stupid screw 3. Stupid screw 4. Stupid screw 5. And stupid screw 6. One of these parts fell off. Oh, yep, that's that little piece at the end there. Okay, so let's remove this. All you got to do is apply a little down pressure on the click wheel while prying upwards on with your fingers, just like that. And then we're going to remove the LCD. Schnikes adhesive. So I'm going to probably keep this as a test LCD. I mean, I'm not going to resell it to anybody or anything like that. It's only got a couple bad blemishes in it, so it would actually be a very good LCD to test with, since, at least you could see something. So that will get repurposed. And here's an LCD. I actually don't even know if it's good. Need to clean it up a little bit. Oh, my Lord. Make sure you get a little bit of dust off. So we'll throw this in real quick. Throw this back on. And we'll put this in here like so. Maybe. Can't get it in the hole. It's a personal problem. Giggity. Okay, there we go. Now that we're seated, so you need to close this latch down. So do not come at it from the right or the left, or really just the center by itself, because this latch snaps incredibly easily. Ask me how I know. So you want to be very gentle with it, because if you break this, the LCD is gone. So I actually hate when I cut my nails just for this reason. Okay, we're down. So let's test the LCD real quick and see how we are. Make sure it is a working one before we go any further. So we have the Apple logo. We just need a light up screen to give us an error page because there's no hard drive. So, nope, same thing. That is an also good testing LCD. So I will put that with the other one. These somewhere where I can differentiate between good and bad. Okay, this is from the good pile. All right, so let's get her in, same as before. Fit the top screen back on. Flip it over. Let's seat the LCD cable. Same thing. Be very careful here. Good. Okay, let's test it. Here we go. That's the error page that we're looking for. No issues with the LCD. Okay, so let's put these screws back in. Stupid screw 1, stupid screw 2, stupid screw 3, stupid screw 4, stupid screw 5, and then we are going to have to just say adios to stupid screw 6, because this is what I felt break off right here, is where that screw went. So nothing to attach to, so whatevs, it's all good. It'll still work just fine. Okay, so now that we have our battery and our LCD and all the good parts, let's get it all put back together and let's test it. So first thing we need to do is put the LCD cable back in. I'm sorry, not the LCD cable, the aux port cable. So you need to make sure this clip is facing upwards, which it is. So then you're just going to use your spudger and you're just going to feed it in like that. And then you're going to close the latch with your spudger. So then the next thing we want to do before we put the hard drive in is we want to raise the battery connector latch. So take your spudger. You're going to hold down on the white part, kind of for the same reason that what I was saying earlier about you don't want to just pull up on the battery ribbon cable because you can dislodge the battery connector. Same thing here. What we're going to do is we're going to run this handy dandy paperclip tool behind the battery connector here, and that will raise the latch. But in doing so, you can, and again, ask me how I know, you can flick the battery connector off the motherboard. So, spudger, hold down the white part, and then you're going to run it along the back, and then you hear that click. That is the connector being raised. So now let's put on the hard drive. So we're just going to fit the cable in there, and then you're going to close that latch, flip it over, get rid of this stupid screw 6. Okay, we got our new battery. We're just gonna slide it in there. Oh, crap, there we go. Make sure it's seated good. And then again, you're gonna take your spudger, close that switch. I'll peel this. Actually, I won't do that yet, because we wanna make sure everything works properly before we permanently put something into place. Wait for this thing to power on. LCD's looking good. Come on. She's kind of slow. I'm wondering if the hard drive might be kind of going too, or maybe it's a really, really full iPod. Okay, so let's check everything and make sure it works. Yep. Go back to the AC/DC. Sorry. Okay. Yep, turn it down. Yep. Everything looking good. Hold switch is happy. Okay, so let's make sure the battery charges. So we're at about 2/3, 3/4 full, something like that. So we're gonna make sure it charges at least beyond that point. And it does take our cable, so that's good. So while we're waiting for this thing to charge, I'm kind of interested about that long boot up. So we're gonna go into the diagnostic mode. To do that, menu plus center, maybe, to reboot. Come on, menu and center, let's go. Okay, and then as soon as it reboots, left and center and hold until you get a white screen like that. Okay, so, sorry guys, it's washed out. Oh, no, it's not. I'll keep it here. Okay, so menu for manual, I/O for the hard drive, HD smart data, and we're gonna look at pending sectors. Any pending sector is bad. Huh. I mean, there's some retracts, but that's not really that big of a deal. 0 pending sectors and only 266 power on hours. This hard drive is actually essentially brand new, so cool. Good for them. They don't need a hard drive replacement at this time. So we will do menu plus select to reboot. And then we will let this thing sit and charge for a little bit, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, guys, so I just unplugged it, and it is charged up. Okay, so all we need to do now is just close up the case. And that adhesive, I did remove that adhesive, so we're all, or not, removed the tape, so we're already good. It's already stuck up here. So what I like to do is, I like to squeeze the case. So if there was any, because I mean, a lot of people, when you open these things up, you know, you can't pry, like, you don't want to pry out because you'll bend the case, but you kind of have to pry out because you go in, then you have to go down, and to go down, you inadvertently pry out. So, really, you end up kind of accidentally prying out the case, and what you need to do is kind of bend it back in just so it looks good. And then, press down, hear all those nice clicks. We are back in business. And life is good. Let's double check it one more time, make sure everything's good. Okay, testing. Scroll wheel's good. Okay, here we go, maybe. Okay, we got sound out of both sides. Play pause works, next obviously works. Previous works, menu works. And the hold switch works. We are good to go on this one. Another relic repaired. Thanks for tagging along with me, guys. If you enjoy this content, you know, like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.